Welcome to John Goes to College. This video was developed for the Southeast ADA Center by its North Carolina affiliate, the CARES program at the UNC Chapel Hill School of Social Work. Meet John. He has several learning disabilities, including dyslexia, dyscalculia, and an auditory processing disorder, APD. John received accommodations and individualized support services in elementary, middle, and high school. This fall, John will be starting his first semester of college and is learning about applying for and receiving reasonable academic accommodations. Titles 2 and 3 of the Americans with Disabilities Act make sure that individuals with disabilities can fully participate at any public entity, including all colleges, universities, graduate, and professional schools. All public entities are required to make their programs accessible to students with disabilities. One of the courses John is planning to take is Calculus 1. The course description mentioned that he would need to be able to read and solve word problems. The course also requires students to write down explanations for their solutions. So John asked the Disability Services Office what accommodations they provide to students with dyslexia and dyscalculia. One of the accommodation specialists, Susan, explained to John that once he provides them with documentation of his disability and the need for accommodation, they will review his accommodation requests. They review all requests on a case-by-case basis, which allows them to tailor accommodations to each student's unique needs. Susan also lets John know that the online form for requesting accommodation has a text-to-speech option, which he can use to fill out on his own. The form asks, "What specific accommodations are you requesting?" John dictated his answers into the form, making the following requests. Remove the writing course prerequisite because my dyslexia makes reading and writing difficult for me. Allow me to verbally answer written exams by providing someone who will write down my answers for me. Allow extra time on exams and quizzes so I am not penalized for needing more time to read the questions. Provide course material, such as test books and handouts, in alternative forms like audio recordings or digital texts that can be read aloud using text-to-speech software. I'd like to be excused from any homework that includes word problems and to not be graded on the word problem-solving portion of the exam, since my dyslexia makes it difficult for me to understand word problems. Finally, John asked for alternative grading criteria to prioritize verbal responses over written responses. After receiving John's accommodations requests, Susan scheduled a meeting with him to discuss his requests and finalize his accommodations. Susan shared that they could approve his request for extra time on exams and quizzes, access to a scribe for written exams, and they can provide course materials in an alternative, accessible format. She also informed John that they are unable to provide some of his requested accommodations because they are considered to be, quote, fundamental alterations to the course, unquote. Fundamental alterations are changes to academic requirements that are essential to the course or would fundamentally alter the educational program. This includes lowering academic standards, waiving the acquisition of essential skills or skills that are directly related to the health or safety of others, and removing or waiving requirements that are directly related to qualifying for a license being pursued. Removing the writing prerequisite for Calculus 1 would change the nature of John's academic program. Alternative problem sets and a final exam without the word problem portion would be waiving the acquisition of an essential skill of the course. And using alternative grading criteria would lower the academic standard. John and Susan agreed on this final list of accommodations for his calculus course. Next, they discussed his other courses and together determined the next set of reasonable academic accommodations. John's semester is off to a great start with accommodations that do not fundamentally alter his academic program, but that do enable him to learn without barriers or discrimination based on his learning disability. If you want to learn more about reasonable academic accommodations at higher education institutions, check out these additional resources at www.adata.org/factsheet/postsecondary. Thank you.